Hello, this is Josh Belk with the Belk on Business podcast. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to listen in today. Over the past few weeks, we've been talking a little bit about putting people first in our business. As an accountant, of course, we're really focused on really trying to help our clients have profitable businesses. But I think that if we really spend the time to put people first in our business, if we really focus on bringing value to the people that we serve outside of our business as well, that our businesses will ultimately bring profit into the business. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about the 4 C's of a winning team. The 4 C's of a winning team, and just mention those briefly, and then we'll get into each of these 4 in a little bit more depth. But we won't be spending a whole lot of time on any one of these. But the 4 C's of a winning team. First of all, we're going to talk about communication. Secondly, coordination. Thirdly, cooperation, and lastly, cultivation. So the 4 C's of a winning team. Putting people first in our business, I think, is truly essential to developing a winning team. And really having a culture in our business where people really have a sense of belonging and also a place where they can thrive. One of my favorite places to shop, and my wife and I, we both have a number of shirts to say this, and that life is good. And they have a little motto on there that to do what you love and love what you do. So do what you love what you do, or do what you like what you do. And I think that's extremely important, that we bring people on that they're doing something that they love, and they really they're doing what they love and they love what they do. And if they're able to be put into a place where they're loving what they do and they're doing what they love, they're gonna thrive. They're gonna stay there. We know statistics tell us that people don't stay working for us purely because of money. Many times there's other factors. People want to have a place where they feel like they belong. People want to work in a place where there's a culture of growth, a culture of development. And so first of all, the 4 C's of a winning team, number 1 is communication. I think it's important for those of us as business owners, and I've mentioned this in a number of podcasts, that we communicate with clarity and we communicate with purpose. So all of our conversations are very, very clear. Today I was in an email string, actually with a client, and in that email string, they were talking about essentially another email or a document they had received that we had never seen. So there was some communication going on, but I had no idea what he was talking about. So there was communication, but it had no clarity. And secondly, they didn't tell us the purpose. Had no idea the why. I mean, what are we trying to accomplish here? So I think with every piece of communication that we have with our people, we need to be very clear on on what we're wanting done, and then also the purpose of why we're doing what we do. And of course, we've talked a lot about, and of course, Simon Sinek really kind of developed this start with why, but I'm talking about more at a micro level. And so in our weekly meetings, in our casual going up to somebody's desk or in somebody's office and having a conversation with them, that there is clear communication on what are we doing and why are we doing it. And so communicate with clarity and with purpose. And number 2, so of course the opposite, we know that if there is no clarity, there's going to be confusion. And we don't want to have a culture of confusion. People are like, okay, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? But if we communicate clearly, we communicate with purpose, it will eliminate that. Secondly, coordination. And so we need to be able to plug people into positions where they have the capacity to excel, in a place that they can they can be set up for success. Do they have the desire to do the job, and do they have the aptitude to be able to do the job, or the ability to do the job? And there's so much testing out there now that can be done before we bring somebody into our business, and I think it'd be prudent for us to take advantage of that. So if we're hiring them for a certain position, that we work with, maybe it's an outside consultant, maybe get some testing, use some sort of a testing tool to be able to figure out whether or not this person has the aptitude to do the work, and then also to be able to have pointed questions and understand, are they really wanting, or do they have the desire to do the work? And once we bring them into the business, if we're wanting to move them into another position, to make sure we're putting them into a place where they have a desire to do that work, and also they have the aptitude, the skill set to also be able to do that work. So if we're going to have a winning team, we want people in every seat in our business that they have a desire, they have a passion to do that job, but also they also have the aptitude or the skill set to do that job as well. So communicate, cultivate. Thirdly, that of cooperation, cooperate. And what I mean here is spending time with our team. I think it's extremely important. I don't think that any of us should be in our business to where that we have a closed door, we're in an office with a closed door and don't ever bother me. that we're very much involved in our business. I just finished reading both Bob Iger's latest book as well as Howard Schultz's book. Of course, Howard Schultz being the CEO of the former CEO of Starbucks, then Bob Iger, who recently stepped down as CEO of Disney. And one thing I noticed about both of them is that they were always very involved, even though they ran very complex businesses, even though they had a lot of employees. They spent a lot of time being involved with their employees and really having conversations with them, understanding the struggles they were having. And so spend time with your team. Know what's going on in their lives. If you have a smaller team, I'm blessed to have a smaller team, and I know them very, very well. And I really kind of understand some of what's going on in their even in their personal lives. How can I be of help to them? How can I serve them? And to get involved in their life, what issues do they care about? Speaking of both former CEOs, something I mentioned, especially with Howard Schultz, is he really cared about the nonprofits, the community organization that their employees cared about. And they would get involved with those as well. So get involved with them. If we have we're going to want to develop a winning team that if they really feel like if we're on board with them, they're going to feel like they're really going to want to be on board with us and the mission and the vision we have for the company as well. So that of cooperation. Be creative with participation. Allow for them to use whatever skill sets they have. It may be unique skill sets to bring into the culture and the business. And I'll talk about that here just a little bit more. Number 4, and that's cultivation. So help develop our team members. Always be developing. I think those of us, we should always be learning. We should always be reading, but we should also be working on developing our team members. John Maxwell talks about the law of the lid, to be constantly lifting our lid. Everybody has a certain level in every area of life that they have the capacity to learn. But if we have the person in the right seat, they may have pretty much almost an unlimited capacity in that particular skill set if they have a natural aptitude toward it. So constantly be developing them so they can improve. Whether it's in communication with clients, maybe it's in something is, we need to send them to an Excel class or learn the software. Always be investing in them, developing them as leaders in our business as well. So always be developing your team members, and then find out what their unique skill sets and their strengths are. And sometimes the strengths they have, it can go two ways. Number one, to where we can go to them if we understand what sort of gifts that they have, whether we can talk about a love language, maybe they have a certain type of a gift that we can use to encourage them or to help them. And then also in the alternative to a special gift that they have, a unique gift that they have, that they can also help with other team members that we have. Let me give some practical examples of that. So maybe we can talk about maybe they have a gift of being able to be able to bring encouragement to others. So maybe we want to bring them in to try to help in a marketing campaign of our business because they have a unique ability to be able to communicate appreciation toward clients or potential clients. Maybe somebody has I was thinking of a client of ours. Actually is owned by my brother-in-law. Another one of my brother-in-laws works in that business. And he kind of has a natural ability to kind of be a little bit of a comedian. And so, and of course, he can also be very serious. He's very much an intellectual. But I know that my brother-in-law will bring him in sometimes, and he will just be used in a meeting to kind of just lighten things up. So he'll come in a little bit, and just he has this unique ability to see things in a unique way to be able to kind of just lighten the mood a little bit. Sometimes we need that. So kind of thinking outside the box a little bit as far as in being able to really kind of develop our team and to improve our team and to really have a winning team. And so maybe that person has, maybe they need the gift of mercy. Maybe they have the gift of mercy. We can talk about spiritual gifts here a little bit outside the scope of this, but maybe they have an understanding what their spiritual gifts are, understanding what their love language is, so we can help to have a good culture in our business and also to be able to use whatever sort of strengths that they have and gifts that they have to be able to maybe to put them in a little bit of a different position at times to be able to help other team members and also to bring additional value to our clients as well. So just a few ideas on developing a winning team, or the 4 C's of a winning team: communication, coordination, cooperation, and cultivation. I appreciate you taking a few moments to listen in today. Once again, this is Josh Belk with the Belk on Business podcast. Have a wonderful day.